What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? It's your boy MM2K back again with another one. Hey, look, today we're going to talk about Google Stadia. We're going to talk about, because of Google Stadia, what we need to see with the Xcloud. And lastly, do we still consider that PlayStation 1 E3 with Death Stranding? Let's get into it.
High as a kite. Flying high as a kite. With a propeller.
Yo. Good to see everybody. Yo. In a bottle of rum. Don't ask me where the hell I got that from. What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? What's up, peoples? It's your boy MM2K back again with another one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I forgot to mute this. Y'all gonna hear a little bit of background. I keep forgetting to do that. Hey, what is up, everybody, man? Woo! Glad to be here. The Friday before E3. How are y'all feeling? Man, because I'm excited. Now, let me say this. I want to definitely say this. I'm excited, but I'm not hyped. Okay. And while I'm tweeting this out, let's talk about what that means. Okay. I'm excited for E3 because we're seeing a lot of stuff that I did not expect to see. You know, with Google Stadia. Yesterday's introduction. Well, really not their introduction, but, you know, we got to look behind the veil a little bit more with Google Stadia, right? Also with Xcloud, Project Xcloud, the offering from Xbox as far as how they're going to handle game streaming. Now we get to see what more we should expect from them and how they can counter back, right? And then there's the games that are going to be there. I'll get into that later at the latter part of the show. I didn't put that in my title for character limitation reasons, for character limitation purposes, rather. But I'll talk a little bit about that. So I'm excited to see all that because at least there could be some elements of surprise there that'll make this all worth it. But I'm not hyped. Like, there's nothing that anticipation of or that has been said prior that got me real excited about experiencing something that I think is going to take gaming for me personally into the forefront. Now, a lot of y'all might hear that and y'all might say, hold on, MM2K. I thought you and your XBR, your bro, you know what I'm saying, your PNC, Neethles, I thought y'all was game streaming enthusiasts. And that couldn't be the farthest thing from the truth. Big ups to my homie Danny Stab out there on Twitter. The faceless avatar, right? Y'all know Danny Stab. He's been a big time supporter of the Broadband Bullies. He's been a follower of Neethles and mine, you know what I'm saying? And he's overall good dude, even though we may not always agree on stuff. That's what I don't want to sit there in the circle jerk and just interact with people that agree with me 24/7. You know what I mean? That's just, I can't do that because I don't grow from that. You know what I'm saying? And I never believe that I'm at a point to where I need to know enough. I always want to know more. You know what I mean? So Danny Stab said to your boy MM2K the other day, he said, MM2K, you always talk about the storm chaser scenario, like where just because you may announce something may be effective doesn't mean that you care for it, right? He said, man, that's BS. Stop it, MM2K. You know you love game streaming. That's lying as BS. And I said, okay, all right, let's take what you said at face value. I'm just spitting out a bunch of BS. If I'm spitting out a bunch of BS, then explain to me why I say As somebody that tell you all the time, I am not a fan of Sony's product as far as it comes to gaming. I don't like it. I just don't like it. If you like it, fine. But I don't like it. Why, I can sit here and tell y'all on a regular basis, get into it with my bro, Neethles, about it, right? Because he wants to play with people in Hakistan or wherever the hell his gaming lineup friendships may align. But I tell y'all all the time, to the dismay of even my Xbox brethren, I respect Sony's business gangster for saying that they're not down with crossplay. I mean, as a console-centric business at the time, asterisks at the time, why would you have the lead that you have, right? With 100 million to 40 million. And then I think 28 million for the Nintendo Switch, if we want to throw them in the mix just for shits and giggles, right? Why would you have that lead be in the era that you're in, which is the online multiplayer era, whether you chop it up or not, whether single player experiences can never go? I mean, and that's fine. My favorite games, most of them are the single player experiences, the BioShock and the Mass Effects, you know what I'm saying, of recent gaming history. You know, I love the Division 2, but BioShock and Mass Effect are on the plateau that, you know, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to reach that plateau as far as I'm concerned. But with that being said, let me not go back into the weeds. But why would I give them the props when I don't like their product, for one, and for two, them having such a hard stance on crossplay the way that they do actually hurts me as a gamer. As someone this generation that told you that I'm a big fan of the Destiny series, and I've bought Destiny every which way you could buy it, Destiny 2. Even though I didn't like the base product at first, right? I said every which way I was going to buy it. And their stance on crossplay actually hurts me. Because a lot of the people that I played Destiny with on the Xbox 360, now play it where? Just guess. Oh yeah, PlayStation. So me not being a PlayStation fan, and me having to get a PlayStation console and a PlayStation version of Destiny in order to play with those people, actually hurts me as a gamer personally. But overall, I can respect their business strategy for why they're sticking to their guns there. And I understand that even though personally as a gamer, gaming is a selfish hobby, but as in the realm of content creation, now follow me here, in the realm of content creation, I can't be a selfish giver. Meaning, if I'm sitting there trying to give information that is useful to as many people as possible, as I tell y'all, then I can't speak from a realm of selfishness. I personally may not want crossplay to be pushed away like how it was being pushed away from Sony. But I understand as a console-centric product at the time that they present, why they can't act on it. It makes perfect sense. So if it makes perfect sense at the broad scale at 5,000 feet, even though I don't like it, and I tell you guys, I'm a content creator that looks at things in totality, and I want to give y'all all the information that y'all can have so y'all can make the decisions that suit your gaming needs, not my gaming needs. I don't need to get on YouTube, talk to y'all, and figure out what I'm going to do as a purchaser or a consumer. What the hell that sound like? I'm giving this information out as I come across it that I think is relevant to the gaming masses, because I'm trying to equip y'all the best way that I can with information to help you make your gaming choice decisions. And those decisions may or may not likely match mine. It's okay. I just like people to be informed. So, what am I saying in English? Is that it's not BS to be able to separate the forest from the trees. I know what I like. I don't need to talk to y'all about what I like to boost up my man, look, I'm old as hell, man. Look, I'm at the point in my life, I don't care what y'all think about what I like. I really don't. If I did, I would have never dropped those Fallout 76 videos. We can disagree about 1,000 things, but I think one thing is more than evident. I really don't give two shits about what y'all think about what I like. I don't care. That's not why I'm here. I'm here because I want to provide a platform where people get as much information as possible that I think is relevant. Now, there might be other information that may be out there that you may think is also relevant that I may not cover. I cannot cover everything. I would actually like to play these games that I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? And I got stuff to do. I can't cover everything. So I got to pick and choose. But again, it's not all about me. Now, you do have content creators that want to build these silos, that want to build these occults, and they just want you to focus on what they like and try to brainwash you or whatever you call it to fit into their prism. And that's fine. I don't care. Let them do what they want to do. But this is a more open platform here. I don't attack people in my comments that disagree with me. I don't attack people, just for having different beliefs. I tell you all the time at the end of my videos, you can come with me and come at me. It don't matter to your boy. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Because I like diversity of thought. Now, if you like diversity of thought too, come on aboard. But I just wanted to address that. Not to attack anybody, but just for those of y'all that truly believe that your boy's just out here trying to make it seem like that I'm being impartial on things that I'm not impartial on, that could be the furthest thing from the truth. I really don't care about what y'all think about what I have to say. I'm out here just putting out information. If I really cared about what y'all think about what I like, then I would have never dropped a Fallout 76 video. You know what I'm saying? Liking Fallout 76, and as y'all say, capping for it, was the least popular thing I could have done. And I did it. So let there be no mysteries. But what's going on with my peoples in the chat? Hey, yo, Philip Moore, what up? What up, Philip Moore? Bang House Productions. It's always good to see you, bro. I honestly hoping Xbox will give PlayStation 2015, 2016 type of E3. Otherwise, it's a bust for me. They the reason PlayStation feels untouchable. It's on Xbox now. To Bang House Productions' point, yeah, I'm gonna get into that. Oh yeah. And Bang House is a PlayStation guy. You know what I mean? But again, this is diversity of thought. And sometimes that diversity of thought can fuse you go down the same lane. I'm with Bang House 1,010%. 1,000 times 1,010% on that. Microsoft got to show and prove. Graphic God, stop yelling. I know, man. I'm sorry, man. This is how I talk. You ain't never seen my movie, Deep Blue Sea. The reaction to Google Stadia are bad overall. They changed too much for gamers people won't own. I don't know about that. We're going to talk about that. Bang House? I don't know. I don't know if that came off negatively. Here's the thing, man. And I just touched on it. In our community, there's camps. Okay? People are going to feel the way that they feel. And look, trust it, as somebody that's been in the Fortune 500 world for 20 plus years, you got to understand the habits of the vocal minority, right? Like, I managed a call center. That's one of the many hats that I wore over my tenure. And as a manager of a call center, what do you think of the majority of the calls that I got? Do you think they were pleasant calls like, hey, that products and service that y'all delivered to me, I got it the way that I wanted to. I just wanted to call in and say thank you. I mean, dude, I wish I got calls like that. But 99.9999999% of the calls were people what? Complaining. Normally, and this is just a habit of us as humans, you're either outraged or upset about something or disappointed, and that leaves you on one side of the spectrum, or you're either satisfied or ecstatic with something. That leaves you on the other side. People that are satisfied with something don't feel the need to speak up about it. If I seen a show that was cool, it was okay. It wasn't one that I really think I need to talk about, but I just happened to see something like, oh, that was cool. I was satisfied with that. Guess what? I'm just going about my business. I'm not hitting social media. I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about it unless it knocked me out of my socks. But if I'm disappointed or outraged about it, guess what? I'm talking about it all day. You see how that works? There's 3 realms that you can fit into. 2 are on the negative, 2 are on the positive. There's only one on the positive that may cause you to go and get out on social media. There are 2, both of the realms on the negative. Whenever you are mad about something or you're disappointed about something, you want to speak out because you want to what? Inform people. Hey, look, man, this was dog shit. Or, man, I was really disappointed. I thought the burger would taste better than this. Right? Let me turn down my volume a little bit because I forgot I adjusted some things. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better for y'all. And let me know if that's too low. Said the goddamn it, MM2K, there ain't no too low for you. But that's the thing, y'all, is that out of those 4 prisms, 2 on the negative, 2 on the positive, only 1 on the positive creates a reaction, usually the typical social media reaction. So when people are satisfied with something, they normally don't speak up. That's why you say it's the vocal minority. I don't know about that Bang House. I've seen a lot of people that said, yo, I'm going to pre-order this thing. On the low, this just happened to just be commenting or whatever. Or people that I've talked to that were aware of the presentation. I got hit up in my DMs from people that are casual gamers that know that I do more than casual gaming. And they asked me about it. People that they don't talk to me about gaming at all. I was surprised. I woke up this morning, go do my normal routine, go get my coffee, blah, 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 blah. And people was hitting me up in my DMs. So I don't know, but we're going to talk about it. Very all interesting points. But back to my original point that I was making while I'm still trying to tweet this all out is that I'm excited, but I'm not hyped. There's nothing at E3, and we kind of tested on this yesterday, right? If y'all ain't watching, man. Sister Network, Broadband, Bullies, my brethren, we had some hellified shows yesterday, man. Hey, look, your boy's been doing the Lord's work, man. Dropped 2 videos. I dropped a video yesterday, prepared video. Also went live, did hit y'all with the first quick dose. Then hop right on there with my man Z, Broadband Bullies. We was talking about that. We did a live presentation of the Google Stadia pricing and all the other stuff. Then we chopped it up for a total of 3 hours talking about that damn thing. You know, and Z and Nethos and Post Up went at it. but see, this connects to that whole point in Bram, is that what I was trying to explain to Z before his blood pressure went up is y'all were having 2 different discussions, right? There was really no debate. Y'all made a bet on a premise that y'all were talking in 2 totally different directions. You know what I'm saying? Z was making the point that Xbox says E3, if what y'all say is going to happen is going to happen, I'm not excited because it's sitting right in front of me. Like the details of it are sitting right in front of me. And you know, I I was excited about 2016 because I didn't know that God of War was going to be presented in that fashion in 2016. Nathan was trying to make the point that, well, even though we might know about Fable, because Fable was announced, God of War was announced. So it should be neutralized. So they were making two different arguments. Z's argument was, I had no idea that it was going to be presented now. And I had no idea, you know what I'm saying, that it was going to be rolled out in this way. Like, so right now, I'm not excited. And I can't give Xbox no stripes. Now, if when they roll this Fable out, it looks like something I totally didn't expect, then I might change my mind. Where Nethos was arguing, again, an argument from a different spectrum. But again, what does that have to do with what I'm saying right now? What I'm saying right now is the reason why I'm not excited is for the same reasons that Z's talking about. There has been no indication in the past that Microsoft is going to surprise me with anything that I care about. And so because they haven't done it in the past, I'm not expecting it now. To where even though I don't like Sony stuff, Sony shocked the hell out of me with The Last of Us 2. That was my game of the year last year. Or game of the show last year. So we really need Microsoft to dust that off and get off of that, hey, we're really going to shock you with something that's AAA bangerish, right? You know what I'm saying? They really got to do it this year because the anticipation has become mum. I'm not excited. I need to come away and see something like, what E3 was that, y'all? Somebody drop it in the chat for your boy. What E3 was that where Microsoft released BioShock and Fallout 3? I think they had them on the same stage. And even though one wasn't an exclusive in Fallout 3 and one was only a timed exclusive, the presentation of those games shocked the hell out of me. And the fact they were shown on Microsoft stage, like until that point, the big bedazzled things outside of Halo and maybe Gears were not shown on Microsoft stage. The big bedazzles were shown on PlayStation stage. And this was the nuanced gaming, the Western developed gaming and the whole open world or the action, the stuff that the Western developers were bringing to the forefront. This was coming to fruition on Microsoft stage and my jaw hit the ground. That's what I need to see from Microsoft. I need to see that they're grabbing back into that direction. But let me go back to my chat. Paul G, what's up, bro? Philosopher Doom said, not with this streaming either as an option. Yeah, but honestly, I'm hating. Don't want it to succeed. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's different camps, and people from the get-go are going to say, streaming ain't going to do any good. They're saying it ain't gonna do no good because they don't want it to succeed. Philosopher Doom hit it right. He hit it right on the nail on the head, man. They just don't want it to succeed. And if you ain't learned anything from our community, we're stubborn as hell. We still got people saying that Sony really ain't gonna do that much enhancements to PlayStation Now with streaming, let alone day and date. Even though they giving you every indication that's the direction they're going into. People are going to be stubborn as hell about this until the death, till this day. So because of that, there's just some stuff that you got to ignore because it's not embedded in any fact or any reasoning. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Let me check. Let me check my chat. I can see I done got everything tweeted out. Y'all said who said that? Devil Shooter said F Stadia cloud gaming. Banghouse said, I'm talking about the reactions from both the media and gamers in general. It ain't good. They want to see what Xcloud does because Google is disappointing most of them. And that's what I'm saying, Banghouse. I don't know if most of them are disappointed. You're going off for reactions on social media, which I get it. We often use that as a litmus, but what we got to understand is the hardcore of the hardcore go there. The complaining of the hardcore, right? And that might be the vocal minority, okay? The hardcore is the minority in the first place. Google streaming is aimed towards casual people that do subscription gaming and I would do let me explain something to y'all. Let me just ask y'all that question before I get into the nitty gritty here. If y'all had to put a percentage of hardcore gamers that would pick streaming over a dedicated device, what percentage would that be? I'm just curious. What percentage would that be, do you think, of hardcore gamers that would put streaming, that would play games streaming more than they would on a dedicated device? Would you say 10%? 9, 8, 7? Your boy MM2K is going to say 3% or less. 3% or less of hardcore gamers are going to say, hey, streaming is the way to go. I ain't got to buy a new console. I can get 4K 60. I ain't got no data caps. I'm not buying an Xbox or I'm not buying a PlayStation. So that's 3%. So 97% or more of hardcore gamers don't give two rats' asses or care about game streaming. Out of that 97%, how many do you think of that 97% hate the notion of game streaming because they are fearful that it's going to get rid of the dedicated device that they prefer? Out of that 97%, your boy MM2K is going to say at least 80%. At least 80% of the hardcore, well, maybe that's too high. I'll say 70. At least 70% of the hardcore gaming community of the 97% that will never look towards streaming as a primary gaming source. 70% of that 97% hate the idea of game streaming because they think it's going to take away their dedicated hardcore device. So you take that number, which is a whopping, the vast majority of hardcore gamers feel that way. Just remember those numbers we went over. What's the percentage of gamers, casual and hardcore, that are on Twitter talking about games? I threw some big numbers at you, right? 70, 97% and all that. You see how I did that? But out of the gaming community in totality, casual or hardcore, how many do you think actually be on Twitter talking about games? Now to that, your boys say 5 to maybe 10% max. So 70% of 5 to 10% of gamers got on the internet and told y'all they didn't like game streaming. Therefore, it's doomed. And Stadia hasn't even shown you everything yet. They still got a presence at E3. Do you see why, after we break it down and we do the math, why your boy MM2K is not subscribing to that yet? Especially when I personally got people DMing me that are casual gamers that don't talk to me about nothing else and are asking me about this Google Stadia thing. Why? Because Google Stadia got the best marketing setup, period, because they are Google. Yesterday, when you opened up your Chrome browser, guess what happened? Look into the future of gaming. Check out Stadia. So when you opened up your Google browser, that was right there smack dab middle in your face. Now, if you are of that 70% of that 10%, you looked at that and you went, nah. Right? But try to take yourself out of your own shoes for once. Let's do a ghost. Let's do a Patrick Swayze ghost. Come out of your own body for once. That's what this is all about. That's what this channel is all about. Looking at everything from 5,000 feet. Let's look at the big picture. If you look at the big picture, how many of them casuals do you think clicked on that goddamn link, saw that price point of 130 and was like, "Oh, mom. Now, granted, there are elements, pros and cons we're going to talk about that they may not be aware of yet. But if you look at that Google Stadia page and you got people that clicked on that Google Stadia, let's come to Google Stadia, check out Google Stadia Gaming, and they saw that flashy presentation that was cool for the casual. Do we have numbers of how many people bid on that? No, you don't. So using something that is a ploy for the casual market that is not reliant upon social media to push this message. You got to understand, this is not Sony and Microsoft. Sony and Microsoft have to use either commercials or social media to push their message. Google is one of the main pillars of the internet altogether. They could tell Twitter to kiss their ass and fly kite into a thunderstorm and still get their message out. So again, I am not at the point to believe that because the Jason Schreier went out here and complained, casuals don't even know who the hell he is. I can't even still spell his name right. Well, that's not saying a lot, but I still can't even spell the man's name right. So don't use these false narratives to let y'all know what the success or the failure is of everything. A good determination will be, let's wait till E3. We got to wait till E3 to play its course. I'm not going to say that Google Stadia is it. My only message has been that streaming is going to be effective. Somebody's going to find that sweet spot and they're going to make it effective and they're going to put it in a position where it's going to start to transition years and years down the road. It's going to transition gaming from hardware to what's it called. But by that time, we'll be riddled with arthritis and all that stuff. We probably won't be gaming anymore. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But with that being said, let's not seal the fate on streaming or Google Stadia even at that until we've seen everything they had to present at E3 and we see how the news hits at E3. Because that's really the power of E3 is the news. The news cycle and how that information's being disseminated and chopped up and how it gets into the hands of the casual gamers will then decide the fate of Google Stadia. So, if you start seeing articles after E3 that mimic what Jason Schreier's had to say over and over and over again, then I can see y'all saying, look, man, Google Stadia is getting pounded in the press. It ain't looking good. Then we would be there. But right now, just because of what some people are saying on Twitter, that's not a good pulse. It's not a good pulse. All right, so before we deep dive into these topics, let me get to the chat a little bit more. D Almighty said, just touchdown like NASA. Oh, what you, D? Are you going to E3, bro? If you are, congrats, man. Congrats. Paul G says Stadia is $500 after years, not including the accessories. That's a very good point. I'm going to touch on that real quick. I got the best chat in the world, man. You see how we do this? We provoke thought. This is the shit that I like. We provoke thought. That was a very good point made by Paul G. Here's my counter to that. Very good point. Is that when you subscribe to Netflix, right? Because your favorite series is on there. And you got a few favorite series. Do you know that by the time it hits Netflix, that you could have gotten a box set for that same series a lot cheaper than, you know what I'm saying, than your Netflix subscription? Like, for instance, let's just say if Game of Thrones comes and it's like season 1 of Game of Thrones, right? And what's that? What would that be, like $24? I'm just throwing something out there. $24, right? Because you know you're going to get Game of Thrones eventually on Netflix, that's why you got it. $24 is a month and a half now, right, in Netflix in a lot of cases. I know there's different stuff. I'll tell y'all what I pay. I pay $14 a month for Netflix right now because I have the HD version. So if I were to get the box set of Game of Thrones, that's my 2-month subscription there. Meaning, I get it, what you're saying, Paul, but that's the psychological ploy that game subscription services or any subscription service is that over time you're getting built for something. Over time you're getting built for something. And because you're getting built over time, you don't see that you're getting built because it's being broken up in little pieces. So even though you bring up a very valid point, that's the ploy of game subscription services. I didn't say that overall it was the most economically sound option. I didn't even say it's a good option. I'm going to get into all the pros and cons. But I'm saying the question is it going to be effective? Effective and reasonable are not always synonymous. As much as we be on social media and we complain about people, this dumb idiot did this and that, we should know better. That effective and reasonable are not synonymous, correct? Correct. Nelbat said, you see the Bleeding Edge trailer. I didn't see it, and I got to take a look at it. All right, so let's do this, y'all. Let's do this. Let's talk about Google Stadia. All right. And y'all know Google Stadia had a show yesterday where they talked about pricing and everything, and they showed y'all that they're looking into getting exclusive content and all this other stuff, and you know they're looking to make waves in the gaming community. So let's talk about it. Here's what I think the pros are, because again, to what I was saying to the homie Banghouse in regards to Google Stadia being not liked. If you look at the broad picture, you got to look at everything in totality. So here goes the pros. For us hardcore gamers, you know, people that might be interested in it. The price point, $9 a month for the service. It's a nice price point. You know what I'm saying? Again, to supplement my gaming, if let's just say the Division, right? Division 2. I'm going to tell y'all, you know, peering to MM2K's world. My wife is a shopaholic. She got the latest and greatest. Look, my son, and I want to say this real quick too. Big ups to Big Mar, Thug Matrix, aka Thug Matrix, my crazy ass son that I talked to y'all about him. The boy graduated high school, man. And I'm proud. I'm very proud as a father. They talking about my computer's offline. Okay. I'm very proud as a father. Thank you, Nailbat, for that link. I appreciate it. I'm going to check that out. As a father, I'm extremely proud that he graduated because we had our questions. It was very questionable. But he made it nonetheless. And we didn't know until Monday. The graduation was yesterday. This fool, he's on his own. He moved somewhere else, and we just happened to cross paths. And he was like, "Yo," he reached out. He reached out to me. He reached out to your boy, and he said, "Yo, pops, I'm graduating." You know what I'm saying? And da 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 da. I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "That's what's up." So, right after I did the shows, I had to go get with him. And it's a proud moment for me because, like I said, we were unsure, but you know, I can see the look in his eyes. He gets it now, man. I think he gets it now, and big ups to him. Sometimes he listens to Pop's content, so Big Mar, if you listen in, man, again, Daddy, I told you, we chatted, we talked about life in general. Dad's proud of you. Keep it up, man. With that said, I even forgot why I went off on that tangent. Oh, y'all, we was peering into my world. Okay. So what my wife likes to do is she spends up all of MM2K's money. Okay. She spent it all up. My wife goes shopping all the time. She can't help herself. We're always at Victoria's. We're always at a mall. She loves to be at the mall, whatever. We were even at his graduation. The reason, this is why I brought up my son. We were at his graduation yesterday, and she's sitting there posing. This mother thinks she's Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor at her prime. I'm like, why are you posing like this in our son's picture? Goddamn it, this is his moment. She's out of control. With that being said, I would love, and I gotta go with her because she'll get out of control. Like, it's not like she's dragging me to go. Like, MM2K got to go with his wife. When she goes shopping. Because when I go to go get something, it'll say decline, decline, decline. You know what I mean? So I'm there with her. Going over everything with a fine-tooth comb. And I would love, while I'm doing that, to be able to get into some division or whatever on my phone. You know what I mean? And I ain't got to pull out no Xbox controller. I told y'all. Hold on, let me pull it out right here. Pause. It's called the Red Knight Retractable Controller by iPega. Very small, compact. It just goes around your phone, and it has all the functionality of a normal controller, gamepad, you know, for Xbox or PlayStation. All the push-in dialogue, you know. I got another iPega controller that didn't have all the functionality. So that's why I'm telling y'all, get the Red Knight retractable controller. And if you go on Google, Amazon, it runs around $30. One of the best investments I've ever made. Right. So I can bring that bad boy out, start playing my Division 2 like there ain't no tomorrow, and have a good old time. You know what I mean? So for me, that $9 price point is cool. To be able to have those capabilities. Shit, I'm paying for Game Pass. The only game that is on Game Pass that I've played thoroughly is Crackdown. As much as I can stomach it. Crackdown and State of Decay. And I've only played them a maximum of maybe 2 to 3 weeks in culmination. I've had Game Pass since I want to say 6 months after it came out till now. So I want to say a little bit over a year. I've had Game Pass for a little bit over a year. I've only utilized it for about 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still paying for it because I bought it in bundle subscriptions, right? So me paying $9 a month for something that I'm going to use regularly, because like I said, I'm always going out with my wife. Got to hold down the fort. It ain't a bad deal for me. Then also the 4K 60 capability. You know what I'm saying? The fact that it can push those limits and give you 4K 60 capability streaming, that's awesome. Another cool thing about the presentation yesterday was that they made AAA bangers the highlight of their presentation. I mean, yeah, they showed you some AA stuff, but even the AA stuff was dark and gritty. I was on a podcast with your boy J Dubs, you know, the ultimate Sony pony, Kratos. And we were looking at the one with the girl. She was like in stealth mode, going around the abandoned school, whatever. That looked dope. And me and them at the same time, like, ooh, that look crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I like that they put those gritty games and the AAA games out there in the forefront when they did their presentation. And I also like the fact that the portability is coming straight from the Chrome browser. You know what I mean? That's cool. And then last but not least, just to help you springboard into the whole situation, they got the Founders Pack, which I think is a decent deal. You get that 4K HD Chromecast. You get the controller. You get 3 months subscription, and you get 3 months that you can get to a friend. They going in. You know what I mean? So I think that's cool. With that said, here goes the cons, because I can see y'all acting up in the chat. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, data caps. Data caps. I think PC Mag yesterday dropped an article, and I talked about this too, so I'm going to get into it. PC Mag dropped an article yesterday where they said that if you play 65 hours at a 4K 60, you're going to run at a terabyte of data. Now, granted, it depends on how you utilize this thing. If you're going to, which ultimately they do want you to do, I don't think that Google would say, no, we're only supposed to supplement our gaming, your typical gaming with our gaming. No, they want you to primarily game with them. They would love it. They would love for you to buy all your games and game nothing with them. If you do that solely, unless you have high data caps at home or no data caps, and you have high data caps or no data caps / throttling on your phone, and then you break them up between the two, excuse me, you're going to run into an issue. Now, I've talked about in the past on social media, things like Google Fi and all that other stuff, to which I can see parents that are having issues with data caps on the base plan for their kids, supplementing what their kids do with a Google Fi plan. Not a Google Fiber, but a Google Fi plan. Google Fi for an additional $60 a month will give you, I think, 15 to 20 gigabytes of data. So if a kid is running over their normal data as a data plan, I can see parents doing it. I know parents for a fact. I know a good friend of mine, he was just complaining to me because his wife drops like $100 in V-Bucks. They got 2 boys that play Fortnite crazily. She averages like $100 in V-Bucks between them 2 dudes. So I can see them dropping an extra $60. It's going to be a drop in the bucket for them. And there's more like it. It all depends on how addictive and how alluring the service is. Fortnite is alluring and addictive. It's rising up there in the cause of divorces. I mean, come on. So it all depends. If you're telling these kids that they can play their AAA games on the go, they're going to do it. See, this is what y'all understand. Y'all are looking at everything from our realm. The older gamer. The older gamers, the people that play on phone games, the overwhelming majority of them don't play console games. But as you get younger and younger within that demographic, it starts to equal off to where you have very, I don't want to say a majority, but I think it was 49% of the poll I was looking at. 49% of the people that prefer consoles, when you get to the younger demographic, also heavily game on phones. So if you're telling these people, these younger people, that their preference is now going to be available on their phone, they're going to hop all over that. And as they get older, and then the younger people get used to it as well, that becomes the norm for them, then game streaming will grow and grow and grow. Just at the beginning of this generation, we went ape shit over the prospects of people trying to push digital games down our throats. Now we're looking at a scenario where GameStop could be closing its doors any moment now, because more and more people are hopping on digital gaming. Never say never. So, with that said, back to my point in hand. Even though that might be the case, you do have a problem with data caps. And for someone like myself, I can't solely invest. I can only do nothing but supplement. I can only do nothing but supplement my gaming experience, my hardcore dedicated gaming experience, because of these data caps. Period. This could never, ever supplement my hardcore gaming device. Hell to the no. I can't see using this at home unless for the $9.99 they start putting games in there that I want to play. Now, I will say this. I can't do 4K 60 consistently on the rig that I have now. It might level around 4K 50. But if I'm like, the hell with it, I want to do 4K 60. Fuck it, let me just do an hour or two of 4K 60 on that Destiny 2. Being that I'm getting all the DLC and I still got to purchase the DLC elsewhere. That could be a big ploy for me, and it's very smart of them, I think, to get Destiny on for free, because a lot of people play Destiny. And the fact that all that DLC is coming for free with the subscription service, hey, starting off getting a lot of the Destiny players at first is a good boost. So I think it was a very smart move. But, again, outside of Destiny at the beginning, because of data caps, would definitely only be a supplement. Right? Secondly, I'd have to pay a subscription service first in order for me to get access to games. Now, a lot of people are like, hold on, MM2K. That's not what's happening. But I want y'all to take a look at something here. Okay? All right. So they're talking about the games that are available. You know what I'm saying? Play your favorite games without the console. Purchase the latest. See how they said focus on that? Purchase the latest games and Stadia exclusives and play them across the screens you already own. Notice they put purchase first. Again, y'all got to understand the purpose and the meaning behind the placement of words. It's called business babble. Your boy's very experienced with it. Whatever, you know what I'm saying, I was at work and I had to explain something. You know what I mean? And I had to say it in a way that left it neutral because I couldn't commit one way or another. I used what? Business babble. It says these games and more are available for purchase on Stadia. So that does not necessarily mean that that these games are going to be included with the $9.99 off the bat. For $9.99, the only thing that they've confirmed that you're going to get, as far as, and this is off their own Stadia page, the only thing that they confirmed that you're going to get with your for your $9.99 a month is you're going to get 60 frames per second streaming capabilities. You're going to get up to 4K. You're going to get 5.1 surround sound. You're going to be able to buy games whenever you want. And there's additional free games released regularly, starting with Destiny 2 The Collection. So at launch, well, as of right now, at launch, the only games that you are guaranteed, if you pre-order this thing now, as part of the subscription service, is Destiny 2 The Collection. Again, I think a top-notch selection because there's going to be a resurgence of Destiny 2 people that want to get back in the game and they're not going to want to buy all this stuff. I think it's a good... But again, if you're looking to have a lineup of games that just come with the service, you're wrong as it looks right now. Again, as they do the presentation at E3 and as we further look into this thing, that could change. But again, as of right now, that's all you're getting. Johansel Villegas. Just see the Bleeding Edge trailer leak. I'm not happy. Another multiplayer, not a single player experience. It's a melee Overwatch with Sunset Overdrive-like characters. No story, arena multiplayer. Well, we're gonna see what it looks like. I mean, I'm with Johansel, and thank you, Johansel, for that comment again, man. Diversity. I love my chat, man. I love all of y'all, straight up. And I'm not BSing y'all. I love y'all, man. Very smart chat here, and I'm with Joe Hansel there. I don't do the Overwatch shit, man. I don't do it, man. Again, I ain't got nothing against it, but again, man, that's not exciting me, man. Again, it's very popular. There's a lot of people to play it, but I need an experience that isn't just run around and attack different players. I want something that has some guardrails to it, like a single player element to it. I want something like a Borderlands, right? Where I can experience that all by myself, or I can get the online components together and play with other people. That's what I thought that the whole multiplayer experience was supposed to blossom to. Something that supplements the guardrails of a single player experience. So I hope Joe Hansel is correct. I hope he's correct. I mean, I hope he's not correct. I hope we're wrong about this. So that's not that IP. Again, I can, I talked to y'all about looking at things from the Stormwatcher's perspective. And I am looking at this from 5,000 feet. I don't think an Overwatch clone is that IP that's going to bring people back to the system. Again, let's look at the games. You know what, Joe Hansel? See, you trying to get me off cue, man. So you bringing up these good points and you get me off cue. I need to be scheduled. I need to stay on track. I'm going to hold on to that thought. Joe Hansel. Thank you very much for the comment. When I get to the Xcloud section, we're going to talk about that. But golly, man. I don't know. See, that's why I said I'm excited because PNTS, Broadband Bullies, we're gonna be in and out and in depth with what's going on at E3, but I'm not hyped. And we're gonna get into that. Let me just make a mental note to where when I talk about that, hold on one second. I just want to make a mental note. Thank you, Joe Hansel. Let me see here. How do I want to phrase this here? Let's see here. Overwatch clone, not that IP. I'll just keep a mental note like that. So when I get to that point, I know what the hell I'm talking about. We don't forget about Joe Hansel's point, which was an excellent one. All right, so the cons again: data caps with Google Stadia, having to pay a subscription service in order to get access to that stuff. Like that's not banging to me. Like when I pay my $9.99. Like here's the thing: if we're talking about MM2K, and look, and say for instance, I'm like, all right, well, I want to play Division 2 with Google Stadia, right? I want to play Division 2 with Google Stadia. And I want to be able to play it on the go. Being that I'm not playing this thing at home, because I'm only going to play it either, because when I'm at home, I'm going to play it on my, I'm going to play it either on my Xbox or I'm going to play it on my PC. And granted, most of my PC games that I play, I used Steam has that Steam beta where you can link it internally within your house, and that works flawlessly. I play Metro Last Light that way all the time. So with that being said, but the Division 2 I can't play because it's through Ubisoft's thing, and unfortunately, Ubisoft isn't available through Steam. I mean, Division 2 isn't available through Steam, unfortunately. So, but most of the time when I'm at home, if I'm like sitting downstairs in the living room and my wife is watching TV and I'm just sitting in the living room with her and I'm playing the game, because, you know, I multitask a lot. I watch TV with her because she asks me like, what happened here? What happened there? You know, I got to be there to answer, right? And I play my game simultaneously while I'm watching it so I can answer her questions. Because I'd rather answer them there while we're both watching it opposed to her just randomly coming to me asking me questions about the show while I'm trying to drive and concentrate or some shit like that. But that's here nor there, right? So, I'll sit down there and I'll watch a show with her. And I'm playing the game too. You know, and I have so what I'm basically saying is Google Stadia is only going to be a supplement service for me. So because it's only going to be a supplement service for me, I don't like the prospects of having to buy the game for Xbox, for Xbox, for PC, and for Google Stadia. We're talking about $180 now for something that I'm only going to play for a few moments outside of the house because of data caps. The simple fact that you don't have more games, like even if the Division 2 wasn't one of the games off the bat that were available, I'm okay with that because I know eventually it's going to come. But me not seeing that at launch is disappointing to a degree. I like that Destiny 2 is going to be out there. I may get back into Destiny 2, and it is cool that Destiny 2 is going to allow me to do this, right? And it's going to be cross-save. That's a perfect game for this. But outside of Destiny 2, what am I getting for my $9.99 subscription except the ability to buy things from their store? Like, I can't even buy, like, let's just say if I just want to play it in my house, I got to pay $9.99 just to buy it from your store. Let's just say if I just have the Xbox version and I say, well, I want to be able to play this on my PC, and me streaming it on my PC is cool. I don't care about that. I'll stream it on my PC. Who cares? And I go to buy it. In order for me to buy it, I got to pay $9.99 just to access the store. That don't fly with your boy. You know, like that. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a con. That is definitely a con. In addition to that, last but not least, this is what makes it. This is again a bad thing. This is bad. The first one, the data caps, you can work with that. You know what I'm saying? To where it's just a supplement service right now, but this is bad. I think the biggest pull for a hardcore gamer, because again, a hardcore gamer, is not going to play this thing. A hardcore gamer is not going to play this thing primarily. A hardcore gamer is going to do it on a dedicated device. Okay. So if I'm a hardcore gamer and I'm doing this as a supplement to my hardcore gaming experience, I got to have a Pixel phone in order to do this? Like, really? Like, the only phone I can do this on is a Pixel phone. That defeats the purpose for me. Because I'm not playing this thing inside of the house. I'm just not. And if I got to buy a phone for this too? Like, what if I did like the fact that, hey, I could just use the shit that I got in order to play this damn thing. Because Google Chrome is everywhere. And if I'm primarily using this thing outside of the if I'm using this thing outside of the house, I want to use it on a device that I already got. But you're limiting the portability to a Google product. It's not there yet. So if you're limiting it to a Google product, and trust me, they're doing it to boost the Google phones. They're not doing it just to test this out. They're doing it to boost the Google phone. If you're doing it to boost the Google phone, then you need more games. Because then you get into the whole exclusive content console type of deal, right? You're getting into the same arena that consoles have to battle. Why am I picking up this piece of hardware? What is special about this piece of hardware that it contains something that's not available anywhere else? So if the only thing that you're presenting me with is the ability to stream Destiny to it for my $10 and everything else I gotta buy separately, that's not it. You need more games that are available for the $9.99, more hard-hitting games off the bat that are available, and or you need heavy discounts when I go purchase those games. Like if I'm paying my $9.99, then the Division has to be no more than $40. You see what I'm saying? Because now you're putting me in a situation to where me personally, I'm like, well, this thing has no purpose for me in my home. I'm going to play Destiny. I'm going to play Destiny 2 on my Xbox or my PC and spare myself the data caps. 4K 60 ain't that important to me. I can do 2K 60. I can do 1440p 60. But I do want to be able to play this on the go. So if I play this on the go, what are my options? Can I just put this on my phone? No, but I got Chrome on my phone. Well, you're going to have to wait. Or you can get a Pixel 3. Well, Pixel 3 off the bat is running you $400, right? So now I'm in the console market again. I'm dealing with the whole console thing. And if I'm dealing with the console thing, then what do you have on your system that allures me to be able to play? I can play Destiny. This is only to supplement my gaming experience outside of the home. Why would I go buy a Pixel $400 at least to play games the minority of the time that I'm gaming? You need to make these games part of the $10 service as we get closer to launch. Or they need to be heavily discounted. Or y'all better make it cross-phone available. Now, what y'all want to do is if you want to make it to where if you have a Pixel, like there should be a Pixel store, a Pixel Stadia store that's only available for Pixel phones, right? And if I buy a game and I got a Pixel phone, I get an additional 15% off. That's fine. That makes sense. Because then as this thing blows up and people go shopping for a new phone, they'll say, oh, okay, well, when I upgrade, I'm going to upgrade to a Pixel. But you're not giving nobody that incentive right now. And that's why y'all doing this clearly. If Microsoft is going to have the ability to have you play this on anything that is an Android phone or even iOS, when I did Project Stream, if I could play it on any shitty laptop, trust me, y'all can release this with the ability to play on any Android device just about. Or any more current Android device. Y'all just don't want to do it because y'all want to boost up Pixel 3 sales. And this ain't the answer, Sway. This ain't the way to do it. Hey, Snow Bunny. Paul G says the low tier Pixel AXL is $400 and the big boys $3. Come on. Yeah, come on, man. Google. And this is where I'm fearful. Again, I don't think streaming is in trouble. But after you digest what we saw with Stadia, I wouldn't jump out the window just yet. I'm saying this officially now. I wouldn't jump out the window just yet. Here's why. For casual gamers, I can see where this gets some early saturation. Now, will that saturation be sustained? We don't know until after E3. Like I said, we got to wait for the pressers to come out and all that information to come out, right? But with anything that you introduce into any field, it helps out a lot if you got a hardcore push. It helps out a lot if the hardcore can push it. And the hardcore off the bat are not going to like this, regardless of how well it's shown. So they're already going to hammer this. But you don't help your cause when we pull back the veil and you expose yourself to some of these things. Like the Google Pixel phone thing, that's not being handled well. It's not being handled well. The subscription service with just Destiny. I mean, basically, you're streaming Destiny for $9.99. That's what you're getting. You're streaming Destiny for $9.99. Your $9.99 gives you the ability to stream Destiny 2. Again, I'm not saying that's not a value. I'm not saying that it's not a value. But when you pull back the veil and you look at this thing in totality, how is that saturation that attractive? As you could make it be. You're hampering yourself, Google. You're streaming for $10, I can stream Destiny. And if I got a Pixel 3 phone, or if I buy a Pixel 3 phone, I can stream it on the go. That's basically what this is right now. Granted, My my 999 gives me access to do more purchases, but if I just want to spend that 999, the way you're promoting this thing right now, my 999 gets me access to stream Destiny 2. I don't know what the saturation is of Pixel 3 phones. And again, I don't think the saturation is that high, hence why they're doing it this way. It may have some popularity, but I don't know if it's high, hence why they're doing it this way to try to boost up sales. But this ain't the way to do it, because you don't have enough content or you don't have enough incentive with the $9.99 to make me want to buy a Pixel phone. I'm going to be honest with you. When I didn't fully look at everything that was available online, and I thought it was going to be a matter of, upon release, there was going to be 30 games available with the $9.99. 30 games available that were just part of the service that I didn't have to buy in addition. I said, let me go look in the market for a Pixel phone. The boy's cheap. I'll even get a used one. I buy used phones all the time. I'm cheap ass. Me and Porter Rock, in a lot of ways, are cut from the same cloth. I'm a cheap bastard. Right? Child of God, 34215. What's good? So, when I was looking, I contemplated, hey, am I going to pay the $400? Or am I going to finance a phone? You know what I mean? I said, that's an option. I could possibly finance a phone. I'm not going to do it right now because I want to know what games are available. But that's an option. Now I'm here to let you know. And I do, and I am in the shop. I am in shopping for a new phone because my phone is a piece of crap. With that said, the way I feel right now, I'm not buying a Pixel phone to stream Destiny. I'm not buying a Pixel phone to stream Destiny. And as much as I love the Division 2, again, I'm not playing the Division 2 on this service at home. Division 2, look, man, if y'all seen my streams, no, you know what, I haven't uploaded them yet. Your boy got like 10, 15 hours of game streams I need to chop up. I'm trying to chop them up in 25-minute intervals. So that's a lot of work. I've only got like 4 videos. But if you've been watching my videos recently of my my daily videos, those, and you see some with my Division gameplay in it, those are part of like 1 or 2 25-minute streams. I got like 8, 15 hours. And I've only done 2 missions. Like the Division is so in depth. I've literally just gone around and just done firefights and collected loot. I haven't even done side missions in those 8 to 15 hours. I've done 2 main missions. That's how in depth, that's how crazy, insanely in depth the Division 2 is. Can you imagine me playing the Division 2 solely or even half the time at home, 4K 60? I'm not doing no 1080. And they don't even, I mean, do they provide 1440p? I've only seen 3 models. I've seen 720, 1080, and 4K. Damn, could I at least get a 1440p model to try to balance out that data cap? No, I got to do 4K 60. I got a 4K monitor here. I got 4K TV, so I can get the 4K, but I may not want all that data being utilized at home. So therefore, I'm not playing the Division 2 at home on Google Stadia. I'm not doing it. Not happening, Chief. Let me go to my chat. Joe Hansel says, let's think about it for a sec. Not only do you have to pay for the games and pay to stream, the whole thing depends on your internet provider. Not good. And now they want you buying a Pixel phone. Ha ha ha. It's just great. Philip Moore says, you bring up great points. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Just trying to think this thing out. Snow Bunny, Stadia, I'm comparing to how VR started. It's going to take years to get off the ground like VR started back in the 80s, just now getting viable. East Texas Elects. What's up, everyone? Big up to East Texas Elects. Paul G says, M2K, preach it. Smoke and mirrors. This is not a bargain. And here's the thing. I don't want y'all to think that I'm just trying to ride out for streaming hate. Again, streaming is only going to be a supplement. I'm speaking for myself here. And as I speak for myself, I'm speaking for myself because I'm talking to my hardcore gaming community. Again, streaming is not doomed to fail. I don't believe that at all. It's just all depends on, everything is depending upon how it's rolled out, right? All depends on how it's rolled out. I just have questions about how this Google Stadia is being rolled out. Like now, as we pull back the layers of the onion, I have to ask, why are they taking the biggest pillar of this service and hamstringing it to you having a Google Pixel phone? They're doing that because they want you to get more Google Pixels. Okay, you want me to get more Google Pixels, but why would I buy a Google Pixel? Again, I'm talking for the hardcore gaming community. Why would I buy a Google Pixel just so I can stream Destiny 2 for my $9.99? So you want me to buy a Google Pixel? You want me to pay $9.99 for just to stream and get Destiny, the collection, which again, that's a great value, right? And then have access to, and then just to get access to your store. So with that being said, listen to me very closely. Listen to me very closely. This is where I say the whole eye of the tornado thing isn't BS. Because I don't want to get caught in the eye of the tornado. I'm just letting y'all know where it's going. Excuse me. So listen to both of these points very, very, very closely because they can exist in the same space-time continuum. They can exist within the same reality. The reality of it is that even though I think streaming and Google Stadia has the potential to get some high saturation because with the kids, because you got parents spending hundreds of dollars on V-Bucks. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these kids do mobile gaming and console gaming equally. A lot of them do. And they don't care about utilizing data caps. They don't care. And a lot of parents don't even understand how that works. You know what I'm saying? And then there's Google Fi out there. So because of that, Google Stadia still has a lane that over the long run, it will do well and it can get some good saturation. But I think they're selling themselves very short and they're prolonging that process by doing the things that I'm covering right now because they're not capturing the hardcore the way that they need to. They're not. Now, to Paul G's point and to Banghouse's point, they're not. They're not capturing the hardcore the way that they need to by, again, giving you just Destiny 2, the collection, for your $9.99, and you giving you the ability to stream that, and not being available on a wide number of portable devices. That would be their biggest ploy for the hardcore. To know that I can just pull out my phone And then for the smarter ones that listen to MM2K, I'm tapping my Red Knight box. Pull out my iPega Red Knight controller. Look it up online. The iPega Red Knight controller. Matter of fact, let me pull it up for y'all. That knowing that I can pull those two things out. Pega Red Knight controller. I want to see images of it. There it goes. Hold on. All right, let's do this. There it goes right there. Oh, can we see more images of it? See larger image. All right, hold on, let's see here. What? Is it not going? Okay, it's not going to get. Jeez. Let me bring that down just a little bit. There it goes right there. Y'all see that? You just turn that out. See how it works? Put that around your phone. And I'm sorry for the audio listeners. Hopefully you can look up iPega Red Knight controller. I use this thing all the time in the house. It has all the functionality of a normal gamepad controller. I love it. I love it. And that's the box it comes in. That's the one I've been tapping. iPega Red Knight controller. So I can whip out my iPega Red Knight controller, play my games on the go on the phone that I already have. I can't do that now. I got to get a Pixel 3. Because you're doing it that way, Google, you're hamstringing your ability to get that saturation. And the longer it takes you, this is what you got to understand. The longer it takes you to get into to capitalize on that saturation and to get it quickly, the more problems you pose for yourself. Y'all got to get this in people's hands quick before my brethren, which is the gaming hardcore, do what they doing to your ass in this chat. They killing you in my chat. They killing you on social media. They want you to fail. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I tell y'all all the time, if y'all don't like the prospects of something, don't deny that it's happening. Fight it. So I encourage y'all to fight whatever you don't like. Because once they get the products in the casuals' hands, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I'm not mad at y'all. Y'all can fight stuff that I like or I don't like. Fight. You have a voice. When you, as a consumer, you should, fight for your right to get the product that you want, man. I can dig it. I can dig it. With that being said, Google, the rollout of this is not idealistic in that sense, because the longer you take to fix these issues, the more ammo you're giving my brethren, and they're going to hammer you. And the reason why I don't think they understand this is because, like I always tell y'all, a fish rots at the head. Who's in charge of this Google Stadia? Phil Harrison. Woo! My God. Mr. Failure himself. Phil Harrison. The guy that was in PlayStation and it had a hand in a disastrous PlayStation 3 release. And then when he left, he took his disastrous ways to Xbox when they was doing this whole TV and Connect thing. That's Mr. Disaster. If there was anybody that I had less faith in than your boy Phil, well, damn, they both named Phil. Holy kabapple. If there's anybody that I had less faith in as far as leading a gaming division than Phil Spencer, it will be Phil Harrison. It would be Phil Harrison. Phil Harrison is the most disastrous figure in gaming today. He still don't get it. He don't understand how to tap into the hardcore. And I think ever so worse than Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer's problem is, I don't think he desires at the core of his gaming motif to tap into the hardcore. Now, E3 will tell you if we forced his hand and he realized, you know what? I got to look at things from 5,000 feet. Gaming for the hardcore is bigger than what I think. Here goes your AAA bangers. That's different. That means there's still hope. But with Phil Harrison, I don't think that he don't understand. Well, no, I don't think that he doesn't desire to tap into the hardcore. He desires to do so. He just don't know what the hell he's doing. Period. He don't understand what the hell he's doing. Phil Harrison is the most dangerous gaming exec as far as failure is concerned out there. Period. East Texas says, so do you think Microsoft is going to offer some type of streaming device for Xcloud? They might showcase East Texas. They might showcase a streaming box. They might do it. It's possible. I forgot the code name for it. Is it Scarlet? No, I can't remember. They might showcase or introduce their next gen streaming box. We'll see. We'll see. But that's and I've gone on an hour and a half about Google Stadia, but that was the big news. So, again, where I stand as of this moment, again, I'm not making an official announcement. I'm just telling y'all how I feel right now. I'm not going to make an official announcement until E3 is said and done with and we start seeing these newsreels. But how I feel right now is I think Google Stadia did enough to call their presentation, their opening presentation before E3. I think they've done enough to call it good. Not good for us, not good for me, not good for us, but they can call it good because their purpose was to present something in a way that is attractive enough to the casuals to where the casuals can look at it and say, oh, I want that. I think what they did is good. And casuals don't peel back the layers of the onion. That's what makes them casual, right? But I think they missed on a lot of essential opportunities to make this transition smooth as possible for them to gamers, but not tapping into some hardcore motifs. Because when you peel back the onion, what you've presented to us at this moment, and again, this is how I feel, you've presented to us nothing but the ability to stream Destiny 2. And if I want to stream it outside of my house, I need to get a Pixel phone. Because you try to sell Pixel phones too. This ain't the answer, Sway. It ain't. So that's where it is. Pros and cons. They got a lot of things to do. They got a lot of things to answer. The data cap, I think, is always going to be an Achilles heel. And hopefully they're well versed into answering that. They got their business babble up. But these other two things are self-inflicted. And they better fix this soon. They may not have a plan for it coming right out of E3. And they may get hammered for it. But they better do it about face immediately thereafter. I hope somebody is listening. You know what I'm saying? That's connected there. Because I'm letting y'all know right now that once we peel back this onion, once my brethren that do understand what's going on, if this is the way that it's left at E3, this is going to be bad. Okay? This is going to be bad. Brown Devil 2 said, Battle in the Fields. Devil Shooter says, yeah, I'm not supporting any streaming trash. See? My people like my homie Devil Shooter, they looking for weaknesses. Oh, he's clutching his ribs. I'm a hit him in the ribs. Ooh, his jaw look a little swollen. Let me throw a couple of roundhouses there. They looking for weaknesses. They're looking to take you down. It just is what it is. It's part of the territory. Ain't no reason to, it's all about gaming. Stop being toxic. That is not my message here. If you're paying for something and you want to drive a certain direction, I get it. I can dig it. You fight for yours, I'm gonna fight for mine. I can't tell you what is the biggest bang for your buck. I can't do that. But what I am gonna tell you is don't deny your ass better fight. But with that being said, as a company, it is part of the territory. It just comes with the territory, I mean. Y'all better be ready. And Phil Harrison, man, I don't know if he's the cat that understands. Paul G says, this shows what happens when you pull the curtain back. Just say no to streaming. I'm not there yet, man. I'm not there yet. Before I move on, here's what I would like to see from streaming. I would like to see 1080p streaming. I would like to see people go for 1080p streaming, maybe 1440p streaming as a supplement. I would like to see a hardcore dedicated device along with that. That way we get the best fidelity possible. I don't mind Xcloud doing this, but I don't want them doing this at the expense of the best fidelity possible. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. The reason why we got Sea of Thieves, they told y'all. They told y'all when they went and did that YouTube show, the people that at Rare, my man at Rare said, we made this little cartoony because we were thinking about this being transported to phones and tablets. That's why this stuff looks cartoony. They told you. So if you do tap into that 2 billion market, 2 billion gamer market that have cell phones and devices and that make whatever it is, whatever the litmus is for that, and you're doing streaming, and you pull the data and you're like, oh, most of these people are setting the resolution to 720p and 1080p, that will ultimately have an effect on fidelity. So people ain't going to push for the best fidelity all the time. They're not going to do it. Across the board, they're going to be less incentivized to do it. Now, right now, as it stands, the console market is the home of the hardcore. We have our own segment. We're not blended in with this mobile crowd. We have our own segment. So we can be looked at separately. And in order to get through to us, you got to have high fidelity in the picture. But once they blur the lines and they mix us in with the mobile crowd, we're no longer going to have our own segment. We're no longer going to have our own tent. We're all going to be in the same stadium. And they're going to look at everything in totality. And they're going to say, a lot of people, because they're running this stuff on their devices because of data caps, they're playing most of these games on 720p. Who cares about fidelity all like that? It's just the name of the game. It is what it is. So I get why people have apprehension. So like I said, if you want to fight, you better fight now. Don't deny. Don't be one of those deniers. Because them deniers are liars. Yeah, I'm going there. The deniers are liars. Y'all better do what y'all doing in this chat. Y'all better fight. I can dig it. I don't mind streaming as a supplement. If y'all want streaming not to beat it, whatever. I can't tell you what's the biggest bang for your buck. But don't be a denier. A denier's a liar. Snow Bunny, the chat says, my internet sucks too bad for streaming. There you go. CD Mac, I'm down with streaming if it works. Everyone hates before trying it, just like the Bleeding Edge League. Again, I'm in between Paul G and CD Mac. I don't mind streaming as a supplement. But I have my concerns about how it's going to hit fidelity. Because I'm telling you, these kids, man, I've seen them with my son and his people and the people he gained with across the globe. Across the globe. There's a lot of them. They don't care. They don't care about this stuff. They just want to be able to play everywhere. They text each other sitting next to each other. You got to remember, we live in an era. Hardcore older gamers or hardcore older people, we live in an era where there's iPhone, there's they call them what, iTunes clubs? Where the DJ ain't standing on the ones and twos and playing the music. They're sitting in open auditoriums or ballrooms, and everybody got their own phone playing their own music. What's the purpose of going out and hanging with each other if you're in your own little silo? The purpose of going outside and interacting with people personally is so y'all ain't in your own silo. But remember, this is the era that we live in. So we can't judge from our own mental. We got to look from 5,000 feet. I'm telling y'all. This is going to be a success with them. And what y'all can do is y'all can raise y'all voices and y'all can slap it out of their hand before they deliver it to the casual. Because once this hits the market and the dollars start popping, right? On NBC and everywhere else. And then it don't matter what you say. Because again, the line will be blurred and you'll be mixed in with the mobile market. So keep that in mind. I can dig your fight, okay? Now, Xcloud. In light of all this, even though I have my apprehensions about what we've seen so far, I, again, still think that Google has a pathway to success, even with what they presented, even with those apprehensions. And I've already talked about that. Here's what I think Xcloud needs to do in lieu of that. Like how Stadia did, Xbox needs to name AAA bangers that are available at launch through Xcloud. We don't give a flying fig if Super Lucky's Tales is available. We don't give a flying fig if Phantom Dust with the original assets is available. Who gives a shit? Phil. When you get on E3 stage, which is a hardcore event, and you show off Xcloud, and you want to show us how powerful and how effective and how reliable this thing is, you better show nothing but AAA bangers, okay? You better show nothing but Gears. You better show a Halo. You better show Forza better than the way that you did. You better show top-notch, eye-popping shit. I don't give a shit if I can play Zoo Tycoon, Xbox Enhanced on Xcloud. You'll say that shit for after the show. Because even the hardcore, even the casual, when they see that Gears on there, they will then know. Oh, the lower tier fidelity stuff will, if this looks this good on this service, then the lower tier developed stuff will look good too. And you can show that after the show. You can send it out on Xbox.com or your Xbox YouTube channel. But on stage, you better do what Google did and show them AAA bangers. Have that as your predominant showing of the Xcloud capabilities on stage. Anything else is a failure. I'm saying it. It's a failure. It's a failure to show me some super lucky tails and all that silly shit on your stage, primarily opposed to the bangers. And don't even do a mix. It got to primarily be the bangers. 70-30 at least. I want to say 80-20. Here's why. Unlike Google, that doesn't have a stain to its name, the casual market don't know who Phil Harrison is abroad. They know who Xbox is. They know who you are. And your name at mass is mud. Because you're known for being the hardcore box before, but y'all fell off the mark. Whether that perception is real or not, it doesn't matter. Perception is 9/10 of the law. So you better show on a hardcore stage that your service is hardcore ready. And you show that it's hardcore ready by primarily showing hardcore games. Your Halo, Gears, and Forza, and even some of the AAA multiplats that are out there. Google came out here with Baldur's Gate 3. They primarily showed hardcore shit, so you gotta one-up them. Anything else is a failure. In addition, you need a beta this year. Again, your name is mud. Google came out with Project Stream, put it in our hands. We played it. We were wild. In addition, what did Xbox do? Y'all did more talk. Blah, 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 blah. Came out there with a video and all that other shit. Z revealed it. High VP at the time. And the DMs just said that was just a knee-jerk reaction. Now you got to show and prove, baby. Now you got to show and prove. Y'all originally said, and we still got the receipts. You always getting caught with your pants down. Now the time to pull them up, boot up, and get ready for war, baby. Y'all better have that beta this year. Because we got the receipts where you said the beta was coming early 2019. We passed early 2019. Where's the beta? Where's the beta? And in addition, y'all can really knock it out the park if y'all show. Right? Y'all can really knock it out the park if you show and you state Xcloud at launch will be available on all iOS and Android devices from X model on up. I don't know if y'all old school hip hop fans were LL Cool J said, and I'm a Christian like a jelly bean. I'm bad. That would be the LL Cool J I'm bad moment. If you ain't never seen it before, look it up. Where he just stomped the ground, talking about, I'm going to crush you like a jelly bean. That will be Microsoft crushing Google Stadia with the hardcore crowd like a jelly bean. Big ups to FaZe Rinu 2333. Thank you for joining. But that would be that moment. You say at launch, Xcloud is going to be available on all iOS devices and Android devices from model 3.0 or whatever it is. I don't know the technical terms, but that's what you do. You do that, you good. That's what Xcloud needs to do. 706 Gamer, what's up, bro? Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. Now it's time to get into let's get into where I get hate from the PlayStation crowd, right? Because I come down to I'm the Ronin, baby. If you didn't know, I'm the Ronin. I give it to everybody and anybody, however it comes. Big ups to Rhino for following. I appreciate you. If you're a PlayStation Nation gamer, I hope you still stick around after this. I done seen already somebody drop off. Like, no, I'm not, I don't want to hear this. Okay. PlayStation Nation. And again, this is I'm just spitting facts, and I want everybody to look at everything. I want you to have all the information together, and if you don't agree with me, please let me know in the chat. You know what I mean? Do y'all sit with all this going on? Do y'all still think PlayStation 4 won E3 with the showing of Death Stranding? Woo! That could have been the dumbest goddamn thing I think I ever heard in my life. Let's talk about Death Stranding. Let's get this thing out. Let's air this shit out, right? As far as being the presentation that supplements you being at E3, Death Stranding wasn't it. Okay. Now, within the hardcore gaming community, you got a whole bunch of Kojima stans that if he shitted on a popsicle stick and said Metal Gear Knights of Liberty or Sons of Liberty 3, he would get a standing ovation. Okay? He get a standing ovation. The man can do anything he wants to. And like I've heard in multiple other podcasts, even of PlayStation fans, if what we saw came from anybody else, people would be like, what the hell is this shit? On to the next. Right? So, because of that, and because with this game supposedly 5 months from release, and we really didn't see more in the realm of gameplay or anything else that like really lets you know what the hell is going on. Because of that, I think the progression as far as us getting information on this game isn't enough to supplement you not being at E3. As I've said previously, E3 was designed originally to be a trade conference for video game people. What was it? It was an expo for electronic arts and stuff like that. Then it transitioned into a trade conference because video game trading with game developers and publishers trading their goods and services with retailers. That became the predominant activity at E3. And while they did that, they did showcases, and then they invited people to cover these showcases, and now they've ended up opening it to the public. And because they've opened it up to the public, it's become very messy for not only people reporting it, but the people that are actually the console makers or the developers there. So that's why a lot of people are bailing out. But in addition to that, it's mainly for fan service. It's mainly E3 has turned into a fan service show. And if for fan service, you've supplemented doing all of that with Death Stranding, then you haven't done what you needed to do so far this year. You haven't. I mean, if this is going to be, again, what replaces your showing at E3, then you failed. You failed. Period. I mean, you still could have come to E3, shown off some more of Death Stranding. It's 5 months away. You can't take a playable demo from it. And this is supposed to be a new genre now. You got to send out multiple tweets explaining it. Now, if we're going to use Twitter as a barometer to judge how successful something is, nobody knows what they're getting based upon Kojima himself having to send out multiple tweets. How is that a success in supplementing gamers getting their hands on stuff and experiencing things? Last of Us 2 is supposed to be right around the corner too. You're trying to tell us you don't have something playable on the floor for fanfare? So again, if you're supplementing fanfare that puts things in people's hands and help them get an understanding of what they're going to get so they're excited about it, and instead of doing that, you say, well, we're going to give you Death Stranding trailer that confuses people even more in a lot of cases, then you fail. So no, Death Stranding did not win E3 at this point in time, what we've seen from Death Stranding. Now, again, this is without knowing the future. If something is shown at E3 or after E3, then the totality of things, depending upon how effective it is, has the possibility to. But this Death Stranding announcement and trailer alone, hell no. If this is all we're going to get of Sony's presence at E3, then they fail. We fail. So let's stop with the hyperbole. Sometimes we got to take our fanboy hats off. We may wish for certain things. And I get sometimes people are trolling. But people truly believe this. People truly believe this. And here's the problem. It's not that they believe that that's the problem. The problem is that they're trying to condition your minds that this was okay. This was okay. And it's not okay. As gamers, we should want to get fanfare all the time. It's not okay when Xbox doesn't do it, and it's not okay when PlayStation is going to do it. I don't care who's making more money. I don't care who's seeing more personal success. As a gamer, I always want more. You should always want more. I'll give you the scenario one more time. I'm at the Olympics. I'm watching two racers do the 40-yard or 50-yard dash. These are supposed to be the two fastest runners in the world. I go because I want to see history made. I'm seeing such a spectacular event. I'm not only seeing competition, but I'm seeing two of the fastest people in the world, and I may get to witness two of the fastest people in the world ever. They line up. On your march, get set, go, bang! They start running. Halfway through the race, one of the runners says, you know what? I didn't tie my shoe. I'm giving up on this race to tie my shoe, and I'll start the race anew next time around. And the other runner looks and turns back and says, this motherfucker stop running. Well, I'm going to make it to the finish line. Let me just start jogging to the finish line, or let me just power walk to it. And then, so he wins the 50-yard dash. But I came to see history made. It's bad enough that the one guy quit, so I lost that aspect of it. But God damn it, you can run even faster. You can still run faster and break the record for me. AKA give me more as a gamer. You don't just simply sit there. You don't get points for just simply sit there and say, oh, you gave up, so whatever I do is okay. No. Sony's supposed to be so successful. Sony was knocked it out of the box. They've been at E3 for their worst times and their best times for 20 plus years. You're telling me after all the success and all the money that you made with these new services, you broke records, that you still couldn't give me fanfare? That's bullshit. And you shouldn't be capping for that. There's no excuse for it. This ain't the first new generation release that Sony had to deal with. It's bullshit. And as a gamer, I'm disappointed for anybody that settles for that motif. I get it. We all shit talk. I shit talk too. But within our individual huts, We belong to one big collective, which is gaming. And we should all be willing to put our gaming platform of choice to task. Again, simply looking back and saying, "Oh, this motherfucker stopped running. Well, fuck it. Let me just jog to the finish line." That's not feasible to me. That is not. I can't dig that. I can't respect that. You should then, if you're really for the gamer like your moniker says, you should say, well, damn, they done gave up on the gaming community. Everything's on my back. I really got to do it. Not no bullshit we got to prepare for next year. You broke records. Where the hell you at? Give me the goddamn Death Stranding. I don't know what the hell this is. And this motherfucker, he got to come out on Twitter every other day and tell me what the hell the game is about. Y'all sitting there making up shit. He's contradicting the shit that you're making up. It's not acceptable. And this is why. See, y'all look at me and y'all say it's people like you, MM2K, and people like Neethles, and why this streaming shit is going to happen. No, it's people like you. It's people like you that cap for Sony, that won't come down the middle, that make excuses for them to lay in the bed with their console enemy. Deny. But like I said, the deniers are liars. And y'all just gobbling it up because all it matters is my person walks across the finish line. I don't care however we do it. It's all about us winning instead of all about us having the ultimate gaming experience. I don't want just the winning gaming experience. I want the ultimate gaming experience. I want somebody that's going to turn back, look at that other runner, and say, oh, shit, it's on my back now. I'm darting past this finish line. I got to go faster than I ever gone before. Because I got to service these people that came here to watch this. I got to get them something. A day's gone that had to be patched the first 5 days, every single goddamn day that it released at first. A Death Stranding and supplement of an E3 presentation. No word on Last of Us 2. No word on Ghost of Tsushima. You canceling PSX, E3, Paris Game Show. You laying in bed with Microsoft to do streaming. That is not the ultimate gaming experience. That's not looking at what has happened and saying, you know what, I really got to carry it on my back. That is saying, I got a bunch of motherfuckers out here that's going to cap for me. I can cruise to the finish line. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Mr. Free to Be Me says Bleeding Edge footage just leaked. Man, more Saturday morning cartoon games by Microsoft. I thought it was a story-driven game. It looks like Borderlands mixed with shit. Y'all got me excited to take a look. Hey, yo, who was that? Nelbat? Nelbat, please put that link back in there. My computer was acting up and I lost that link. It completely wiped out my chat. If you're still listening, please, or somebody can put the link in there for me. I just want y'all to think about that. And again, this is not, in praise of Xbox, I got to say something. No, I'm a gamer at the end of the day. I've nailed Phil to the cross, but again, I'm not going to be that that YouTuber to wood buff to a specific crowd. I'm just gonna tell y'all what y'all want to hear. I'm here to give y'all the truth. I'm gonna tell you how I really feel. I'm not gonna be that YouTuber that says one thing to get revenue and to get clicks and to satisfy a group of gamers and leave y'all lost in the sauce. And then go in the DMs and be hitting Z up and be like, yo, Z, I really feel this way. I really feel. No, y'all gonna get how I feel. Transparency is key to your boy. That's why I get worked up. Because it's ridiculous. I can't respect that. Thank you, Mr. Free to Be Me. I appreciate it. So let me copy this. Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh, okay. This is something that leaked. Okay, I see. Woo. So, like I said, I'm not saying this is it and Sony doesn't have a chance to overshadow the E3 news. They can release some banging news like surprise us all. Last of Us 2 is coming this year too. That changes everything. That changes everything. Even though the dates can always be pushed back, it's still news. That would change everything. Right? But capping for what was showed right now, the motif that Sony won E3 over a video that caused so much more confusion that the acclaimed developer himself had to show out multiple tweets just so y'all could kind of understand what the hell he's doing. Does not supplement doing fanfare and putting shit in your consumers' hands so they know what to be excited for going on into the gaming future. No, it doesn't. And it's unacceptable to cap for that. Period. All right. Now, with that said, let's go into just some more mainstream, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth type gaming information and news. I want to talk about E3 altogether to your boy and what it means to me. You know, they want a live reaction. I'll do that. I'm gonna do that. Let me go over this part first. E3 altogether. These are the three biggest things to me. Altogether, Xbox needs a big showing of AAA first and second party developed content. They got to have it. AAA bangers. I can't even say AAA exclusive anymore because if they're having shit sold on Steam, was it exclusive to developed by Microsoft? So I can't even say ecosystem anymore. You know what I'm saying? But they have to show why their content that they provide, their content and their services that they provide is the best content and services out there. They need to do that by showing that they're going to create a footprint that continues to extend on the AAA banger, the looter shooter or first person shooter, whatever it is, the hardcore stuff. They got to show that they're reemerging with a dedication to those type of games. They have to, or it's a fail. It's a fail, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I could support the product, but we'll cross that bridge once we get there. My most anticipated games of E3 at this moment, they are, and again, I would have loved to say The Last of Us, but they're not showing. Because it was my game of last show, 2018. But my most anticipated games is Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Even though I have my concerns with the Division 2 coming out this year, how good is that going to be? Or how unique, is that going to be? Even though they said there's more like survival elements put into this, but we'll see. I was hoping that being that the what's that game? Rainbow Six is now going like straight service based, and that the Division's already out with the third person cover game. That I was hoping that Ghost Recon would go back to the first person element, the first person single story element type stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was hoping, but it's not going to happen. But that's number 3 on my most anticipated list. Number 2 is Stormlands. Stormlands, if y'all don't know what that is the VR game that's being released by Insomniac. Now, it isn't out for PlayStation 4 because they claim that the PlayStation VR as it is right now is not powerful enough to play it. And again, I'm not saying that as a kick. That could change with the next iteration of VR. But right now, it's just confirmed for Oculus. I have no interest in VR whatsoever. The only 2 games that have made me slightly interested is that PlayStation, what's that, Blood and Bone, or whatever the hell that is. That, I was like, when I saw that a couple years ago, I was like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? So that got me interested. And also this Stormlands. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It was at the PC show last year, and it had me interested. And lastly, the number 1 game that I'm interested in is Cyberpunk 2077. I'm interested to see how that is. I want to say I would have thrown Fable in there, but again, those are games that I know are coming to the show. I don't know if Fable's going to be there. And here goes the most anticipated shows that I have. I have 2 of them. The most anticipated shows are Ubisoft show. I think Ubisoft, as far as third-party development, they're the best developer out there, if not the best as far as I'm concerned for my gaming likes. Ubisoft has knocked it out of the park, so I'm interested to see what they have, primarily because I just got a nagging feeling that Beyond Good and Evil is going to be, that there's going to be more gameplay, and we're going to get a release date for that. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to work out. And then the PC Game Show. This is going to be very interesting because normally the PC Game Show is boring as all shit, right? As a PC gamer, I'll watch it just for news. But I'm interested in the PC Gaming Show because Epic is hosting the PC Gaming Show. And if y'all don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of the Epic Game Store. But I want to see, and Epic is getting a lot of hate from the PC gaming community for a variety of reasons. And they're trying to do outreach by hosting the PC Gaming Show as it appears. Let's see if Tim Sweeney gets it. And he does a lot of good faith things with the PC gaming community. Let's see. I'm very interested to see. That's going to be some love and hip hop shit. To see how that goes. There's going to be some drama there. So again, I'm excited to see how that all goes down, even though I may not be hyped. Okay. And that's it for my whole E3 thoughts. You know, as far as E3 altogether, PlayStation, Xcloud, and Google Stadia. Now, on behalf of my homie Joe Hansel, for putting out the good question, I'm here to serve the people. This supposedly was a leak. Oh. I don't want this stream taken down, so I was going to show it. But I'm going to watch this. Uh-oh. There's no audio. So they're showing the gameplay from this new thing. I'm watching it right now. Combat action. Yeah, it does have like a Borderlands type of 4 versus 4. Online melee. Damn, y'all. Hey, look, man, the gaming community's on some shit, bro. They go, they out to fuck up everything. Yeah, I can't show this. I'm glad I didn't show this. They'd have taken this down, and that wouldn't have been good. I'm gonna say this. Now, let me fully let it play out. technical alpha. Come join us, Bleeding Edge. I'm gonna say this. And Joe Hansel said it sounded like you mad. I'm gonna say this. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I'm not interested in it. Again, I don't do the Overwatch stuff. But do I think that this is going to play favorably with the crowd? I do think it's going to play favorably with the crowd. I think it's a good game to have. It looks solid. I'm sorry. It looks solid for people that like the Overwatch type thing. You know what I'm saying? It looks solid. With that being said, does that satisfy me and say, "Oh, okay, they're getting it"? I think it's somewhat of a step in a good direction, but I can't say the right direction because this ain't the game that I'm looking for. We need a story. We need a game with the story narrative element in it. Something like this, even with this design. I mean, y'all look. It has a little bit more fidelity than Borderlands. Y'all can't say that Borderlands is not a hardcore gamer game. It is. Borderlands is going to tear up the charts. So to knock Borderlands, I don't think that's in the right park here. I would have loved to see this style of game with some type of hardcore story-driven element to it, like a Borderlands. You see what I'm saying? So that's a disappointment, but I think it'll show positively. I really do. Microsoft said, Mr. Free to Be Me says, Microsoft need an action game with those huge boss battles. Like I said, yeah, I think they need something with a single story driven element to it. Whether within that single story driven, with the story driven element. When I say story, I don't mean dramatic. I mean like how Borderlands is. Borderlands has a campaign, but has instant drop in and drop out co-op. You know what I'm saying? They do need a game like that. So I don't think this hits all the pillars that it needs to. This is a good ad, but I will agree with that. But am I angry about this? No, I ain't angry about it. It's Microsoft can't trust nobody. And you don't see leaks like this with Sony. You don't see these type of leaks with Sony. Wow. I mean, I'm saying wow mainly because So Microsoft, see, this is what I'm saying. Microsoft got to understand the position that they're in. Nobody respects Microsoft. They don't respect them. You got to get that respect back. All this coffee shop shit, you're not going, all this coffee shop / let's just label it toxic if we don't like it. No. You got to stand from a position of power. And a position of power ain't got to be synonymous with any race or gender. A position of power is about attitude. And y'all attitude right now seems real meek. Y'all ain't got no respect. They don't got no respect for the police, as he says. They don't care about... Look, for y'all to... Somebody from Reset Era had leaked out that there supposedly is going to be some big bangers released at Microsoft's conference. Please, they bet the bag. Please don't leak them out. They got to beg not to ruin your show. They ain't got no respect for y'all. Y'all have foregone all symbolism of power. Y'all have foregone power. Think about it. Everything related that correlates with power, Microsoft has relieved it. Because this whole coffee shop motif is not about straddling power. Straddling power is not synonymous with any race or gender. Power means you get things done. I draw a line in the sand. You got to draw a line somewhere because you got to have guardrails. You got to have a vision. You got to be focused. You got to have a vision of focus with something. It's now to the point to where you can't even garner respect. People got to beg on your behalf. Please don't ruin this show for Microsoft. Come on. Victor Alliston says this is a game for Inside Xbox. I don't agree with that. I think they can show this game.
Well, do it live. Do it live.
Child of God, I appreciate you hosting and the follow. I don't agree with that. I think they can show this game, but I don't think that this game is what turns the tides. It's a positive looking game for those that like that stuff. I mean, Overwatch games are positive. You know? And there's been enough time since the last time someone attempted to go into that battle arena type game or whatever you want to call it, to where I think it could do them some good. But is this the AAA banger that I'm talking about? No. This is a supplement. So can I put this in a bucket for them to say this is of the 2 or 3 AAA bangers that I think they need to release? No, absolutely not. But it's not the kiddie shitty game that people that y'all were making it out to be. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not the kiddie, you know. It's just not that AAA banger that they need to get to start turning the tide. But it's positive. At least it's not a Sea of Thieves. Now we're trying to make it seem like Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, State of Decay. This is not that. This looks like a solid, you know, Overwatch type game. Could be a competitor. I'm just not into that shit, and I don't think. And then again, that's a niche. Even though it's popular, even though it's very popular, that's a niche market, and I think that they're going to have to put out a type of AAA banger action game that covers more broadly over the gaming community. That's what I'm saying. So, with that being said, hey man, that's it for your boy. We've covered a lot of gaming news. I appreciate all of y'all coming through. Shizno Elite. Victor Alliston. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Free to Be Me. Joe Hansel, thank you, man. Thank you for the link. Thank you for the comments. CD Mac 5, appreciate your support as always. Paul G, starting your garbage all the time. Pick up the Paul G, my homie. 706 Gamer. Snowbuddy. FaZe Ranu 2333. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. And Brown Devil and my homie Devil Shooter as well. Thank you for coming back. East Texas, Alex. Thank you. Philip Moore, I appreciate you. Who else we got in here? I think that is it. Wilsonal, thank you for coming through again. Philosopher Doom, I appreciate all of y'all. So we covered a lot. And that's it. And I am again. I'm excited that E3 is here. I will be doing a lot of coverage. PNTS will be doing coverage. We'll be doing reactions to stuff. Follow-up shows. Broadband Bullies will be doing stuff. We are going to release the 3.0 of the PNTS Network website. I'm excited about that. That will show you, we'll have a listing of all the contributors, the stuff that they're working on behalf of PNTS Network. And also we're going to have E3 channels. We're looking to have up to 3 E3 channels. One that's giving you constant 24/7 E3 content, and the other 2 channels dedicated to PNTS Network shows and shows from other places that you guys may be interested in. So stay tuned for that. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Yo, it's going to be a big weekend, big week, E3 as y'all know it. And with that being said, thank you everybody for coming through, for providing all that stuff, all those good comments, the best chat in the world. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. I am out. Peace.
Flying high as a kite.